It's really nice for me to be here. English is not my mother tongue, so I hope I can explain myself well enough that you understand what I mean. If not, please come with me after the talk, and then I want to explain more, because I want to talk a lot about the subject. I love it, and the subject is empathy, empathy for better business. It's something that I really love, and I really believe it helps. Half an hour is pretty short, but I hope I can say some things that will help you. But first of all, I think you already know, we're going to do some energizer, icebreaker, and that's why we gave you these Lego blocks. So before, I would like to start with that. Please, take your Lego blocks, put them off, and then you have 6 different blocks. Yeah, let's do that first. Break them. Oh, there one, yeah. 2. Because this is going to be awesome. You will see what this whole presentation is about with these 6 Lego blocks. Yeah? Is everybody ready? I give you an instruction. You have, when I say start, you have 30 seconds to make a duck out of these 6 blocks. Okay? When I say start, you have to make a duck out of these 6 blocks, okay? Let's see, here's the time over here, and start. Yeah, people start to laugh, that's always good. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, put on your last block, yes. And stop. All right, put your Lego block above your head and look around. Look around and look what you see. What do you see? Ducks, yeah. What else? Different shapes. Yeah, funny, huh? And it is so easy. 30 seconds, 6 blocks, and everyone knows what a duck is, right? And still, we have, I think we have, from the 60 people, we have 50 different ducks out of 6 blocks. But this, people, seriously, this is what we believe. This is what innovation is all about. We think we know, we understand people. We think we know what a duck is. We think we know what someone else thinks about a duck. But still, we have 50 different ducks. So the message is, and you can forget this whole presentation, but the message is, we don't know what other people think. And it's our job to find out what's someone else's duck. Because now it's about a duck and it's fun. But when we talk about innovation, I think we all have a different definition about what's innovation all about. When we talk about the problem we have to solve, we all have different views on what the problem is we have to solve. So the fact is, we don't know. We have to figure it out. Now I have another exercise, and I need 4 people who would like to come in front. There's no good, no false, yeah? Come. 2 more. Or 4 more, that's also okay. It doesn't matter, yeah? Thank you. 1 more, please. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Perfect. Nice. Okay, yeah, come over here. And we're going to need these blocks again. So, yeah, maybe you can take them. I will give, you already have them? Yeah, perfect. You can break them down. Yeah. And we're going to make 2 couples. 1 couple is over here. 2 of you. And the other one is over here. Now you're going to stand with your backs to each other. Yeah, like this and like this. All right. Right now, You're person A, you're person B, okay? Sorry. You're person A, person B. Okay, person A, make a duck. Yeah, make a duck is the same instruction. And when you're finished, show them to the crowd. Person B is not allowed to see the duck. All right, we have a duck over there. All right, show them to the crowd. Yeah, okay. All right, what we're going to do right now is we have 1 minute and 30 seconds. And person B is trying to make the same duck as person A, but with questions. Try to understand what the duck is of person A and trying to rebuild it. All right, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds and the time is running. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, finish it. Show it to each other and show them to the crowd. Is it the same? Kind of. Is it the same at your? Sort of, yeah. What did you try? What was your strategy?
He asked me about the body.
Yeah.
Then the leg. The leg.
And what kind of questions did you ask?
I just asked basically where to start from the main block and then what I should attach to that in what order.
Yeah, okay, where to start, okay, yeah, thank you. And what's happened here?
Almost there.
Almost there. What was your strategy?
I just asked her what she has at the bottom and then go up top.
Building it.
Yeah, building
Yeah.
it step by step.
All right.
But we got a bit confused.
All right.
Like
Yeah, it's funny, eh? And I think when we do the same thing with all of us, I think, well, maybe some people will create the same duck. The thing that I want to illustrate, you know, it's always good. But the thing I want to illustrate, it's really hard to understand someone else's perspective. It's really hard to understand someone else's duck. But it has to be our intention to want to know what is someone else's duck. And now it's a duck, but tomorrow it's for a client or for an employee or for someone else. So you want to understand what is someone else's duck. And it's harder than you think, and you need to communicate and to see people in real. You cannot find out what it is from your desk. All right, thank you very much, thank you. Yep, all right. Actually, this is also what this presentation is about. I'm from Studio.WHY. I started 5 years ago, and now we're doing a lot of projects all about, we call it design thinking, to really find out what's the real problem to solve, how to let people know what to do, how to do it, so that they can do it by themselves. We do it for governmental organizations or education systems and that kind of stuff, but it's all about what you saw a few minutes ago, finding someone else's duck. And we are going connected today, and we do this as well, with an innovation culture. So I will just start. This is what we just did, a lot of different ducks. But before, I would like to share more like a personal story. And the story is about me 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was busy with, for me, a lot of different stuff. I was trying to come up with a project for food waste. I started with Studio.WHY. I was still studying. I have friends I wanted to see, family who wanted to see me, an ex-girlfriend who wanted to do things. And at one point, it was too much. I was not able to oversee everything I was doing, and I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember it as today as yesterday. I entered the train, sit down, and I got this panic attack. I have no idea if you know what it's about to have this feeling. You feel really anxious, out of nowhere. You see people and you only can think about, holy shit, where's this emergency button on the train. It was the worst thing I ever experienced, and it was, for me, it was like a sign, okay, shit man, it's not going well, you have to do something. So I talked to people about, yeah, I've experienced this, I don't know what to do, and I have no idea, and people started to give me advice, okay, what you should do this, or have you tried this, maybe you should do this, I think this is something for you. And the more advice I got, the more frustrated I got as well. And from there on, I thought, okay, this is not happening, this is not working for me. I went to a therapist, and there was a moment that I experienced for the first time, whoa, someone who really wants you to understand and trying to figure out a solution for you that works for you is the best experience I ever had. And from that experience, I thought, all right, if this works for me, I really liked it. And for me, it was about empathy. And I started to specialize in this because it's always the same. When you experience something by yourself, you think, whoa, this is it. You know, I want to share this with other people. And I had the same. So I tried to specialize me in this. And the years that will follow, I recognized this is not only something for me, but it's happening in business as well. It's happening in the context of organizations. When you want to change, when you want to be more innovative, when you want to be more adaptive. It's all about trying to figure out what to do for someone else instead of giving advice to people, because people don't want to change because you want them to change, and people change because you have something that helps them to change. And there was a big difference for me. So we started 5 years ago, and it was my own experience, not the experience of my colleagues, but we started with this and everyone had this own story, and that's what I would like to show to you about what can you do as an organization, what can you do as a startup, and how does it work within culture of innovation, because you need a mindset for this. It's not a tool, it's not a trick, it's a mindset that you have to do all the time. And that's why I really believe in this. Without empathy, you cannot have a culture of innovation. So that's what I would like to explain. The first thing I would like to say is, okay, what is empathy? You know, a lot of people think empathy is just when you see something that's feeling really sad, you feel sad as well. When you're watching a movie, you have to laugh, and you have to laugh as well. When you see people having pain, that you feel that pain as well. It's all about feelings and soft things, and yeah, a lot of people get an allergy of it. But for me, and you see it in programs like, of way of working like design thinking, is really necessary as well in businesses. And that's what I like to show you over here. What you see on this picture, it's the same situation, and then on the left side you see someone from an island, and who's seeing a boat and is calling, yeah, boat. And on the other one, it's like you're sitting in the boat, you see the land, it's like, yes, land. It's the same situation, but you experience it differently. And I'm trying to show it with a picture like this, but trying to figure out for yourself, this is happening all the time. When you're coming at your work, you're working with your coworkers, see your clients, you are in the same situation, but you have no idea what's going on for the other one. Because you can think that, with a little bit of creativity, but you can think, okay, when you're on an island, oh, that's really sad. Oh, I wouldn't be there. I will be really glad that there finally is coming someone who helping me. It's your own experience, it's what you like. Maybe this guy on the island is like, yes, finally there's someone else that I can chill with this guy on the island, and maybe he can help me making the island bigger. You know, you have no idea. But it's about, can you imagine how it is on that island to be that person? Can you understand someone like that? And that's empathy, trying to take in other one's perspective without mirroring your own experiences or something like that. Another one. It's also the same situation, The person on the left thinks, hey, there are 4 things. And the person on the right is like, no, there are 3. Who's right? It's not about getting right. It's about getting understanding. This is also something that happens all the time. And it's hard to give good examples because it's happening all the time. It's different always. But the thing we learned to do, and I'm not sure if it's in Romanian, it's that as well, but in Holland we learn how to argument. We learn how to discuss about what's good, what's right or wrong. Who's right, who's wrong, and how to defend that. But with empathy, it's not about getting right, it's about understanding. It doesn't matter what's right or wrong. Someone else is the expert of his own experiences, so you have to trying to be that expert as well. What's going on in her or his mind? That's what this is saying. This is the story about the 6 blind people. There are 6 people over here, and they get something over their eyes so they don't see anything. And then there's an elephant, and they try to feel her, experiment with this elephant. And it's the same question, who's right and what's wrong? Can you imagine that the solution is the same, but everyone else is experiencing it differently? You think you have the best solution for a problem that there is, but no one wants to buy it. Everyone is saying, yes, but maybe we have to do this, and we already tried that, and it's something that's happening all the time. It's not about good or bad, it's about what's that something for someone else. And then we have it about perspective taking. That's what's innovation all about for me. Perspective taking. So when you see this guy, it's all about what is someone else's experience, what is someone else's perspective, and what are the things that you want to know. It's things like, okay, what is someone else thinking when something happens? What is someone else feeling when something happens? What's his prediction about something? What are the things that he heard? Maybe, hey, you're working at some co-working place like this and you heard some things from all different tables. It influences you on how you look to the world. And it doesn't stop at your work. It's also, what do you do for work? When I started with my project, people were telling me that, yeah, why do you do this? You don't earn money with it, so why should you do this? And is it good to do this? And I don't know what you're doing, so it's been fine. He's doing something with innovation and people. It infects you on how you feel, how you react, what you want to do. And your clients will have the same. Your clients will have the same. Your colleagues will have the same. It all infects. So these are the things you want to know from someone else. Because when you know this, then you can find real solutions. Then you can find, okay, what's going on for someone else? And that's what you want to know, because they're the real problems. We always think that we know the problem, but we don't know. Because of the ducks, you saw it. We think we know, but we don't. We have to try to find out what's someone else's duck. This is an example we did for a client of us, and was about, okay, how can we make 13 years old more aware of fake news on social media? It's a big problem because when you don't know what's real or fake as in 13 years old, you don't know, you can be influenced by, okay, these people are good, these people are bad, this is what I want to study, this not. So it affects people on a young age. So this company wanted to know, okay, how can we help them? And I want to illustrate what's the difference between a traditional way of tackle a problem like this or a way that's more like human-centered. The traditional way is, okay, we have this question, okay, what do we know about them? Well, they like to be with friends, they like to game, and they use their phone all the time. All right, what kind of solution can we make out of that? Well, maybe we have to make an application or technical development, something to help them to communicate with people on distance, to help them to know what's real and what's fake. It's something that happens a lot. It's like business thinking. Okay, we have a problem. Okay, what's the first solution we can get? Okay, what are the technical possibilities? And let's do this. And then you will figure out, okay, shit, it's not working. People are not using this. So what we tried is to invite a lot of 13 years old, and we tried to know, okay, what's your perspective on this case, on social media or gaining news or using social media. And we figured out that when it's related to fake news or not, their thing was more that they have a fear against, okay, discuss the news. Because when I see something on social media and I ask that for my teacher or my parents or friends, it was in Mexico, by the way, they thought, can I ask this, or is this not usual to do this? So they were scared, they had a fear about discussing the news. That's why they didn't do it. So we figured out, okay, it's not about making people more aware of real or fake news, it's about how can we get rid of the fear? And it's a totally different question. So where the company who came to us started with a question like that, we figured out, no, it's not about that, it's about how to get rid of the fear. Because that will help when we solve this problem. So we came up with a program to connect the children more with teachers and parents, because for them, parents and teachers were people they really look up to. It meant a lot for them, but they had a fear to discuss it with them. So we had to solve a problem like that, and we made a program for that. And this is an approach that's more human-centered. And you can see that in this time, the technical possibilities are going everywhere. But it doesn't mean that we have to do everything on a technical way. There are social innovations as well. And this is an example of it. So when you know the real problem, you can solve real problems, and then you have to look for what do we have to do. Is it a technical solution or a social solution? And when you're doing this, and you take the perspective taking in mind, this is what you want to know. What you see over here on the left is what someone says to you. And what someone says comes to you, to your ears, to your mind, you process it, and then you react. But most of the times, when you have a conversation with someone, for example your client, people don't know what they want. You can ask people, okay, what do you want? But people have no idea what they actually want. So you have to help them. It's your job to help them to figure out what they want. And a lot of people staying on the first level, just what some people say. They ask them, okay, do you like this? No, okay, thank you. What is it that you like? Yeah, well, I'm afraid that people don't like me. Okay, perfect, then we have to solve something like that. But most of the times, what people say is not what they mean. For example, right now, I'm just talking and I have no idea where the dot of my sentence will be. I'm just talking. So I am not sure if what I'm trying to say is coming over to you. I need you to show me that you understood me. And that's what a conversation is all about. And when people change, or when you have a technical development and a big organization tries a new system and people don't use the system, it's not because they said, yes, I would like to have this. No, it's all about the things over there. It's about their emotions, desires, values, doubts, and intentions. It's a behavioral thing. People do things, people want things, and if you can connect with the deeper motivation of people, then people will follow, then people will create, then people will come to you. So when you're doing a project what's more human-centered, don't stick with the first level, what people say. No, you have to find out what the real meaning is, because what people say is not what people want, and it's our job to help them to figure out what they want. And you have to see, okay, what is something doing with someone? Another thing that's related to behavior is like your ego and your empathy. Ego and empathy are really important, and it's kind of the opposite, but you need them both. When you are on an ego side, maybe you see this in your companies as well, or people you know, a lot of things are experience driven. I've done this job for already 20 years, so I know what to do. We have to do these steps, and then it will help. I have done this before, so I know what to do. It's all about your own experience, but if you want to help someone else, then you have to know, okay, what's it for someone else? And that's more you have to be an exploration-driven mindset. So it's not about what you already have experienced, no, it's about what to know more about yourself and other people. And it's a different mindset. So it's not about my idea, no, it's about, okay, what to solve for you. And maybe we can make an idea with the two of us. It's a different mindset, and it's something that we need more. And you see it as well in companies. They want to have more connection with their stakeholders, with their people, with their colleagues, because they see that they need it. And that's the reason why design thinking is growing. It's a way of working. It's become more popular because of this. Because we don't know what stakeholders want, so we need to connect them. We need an exploration-driven mindset. So it's all about behavior. And a lot of people talk about culture, but in fact, culture is nothing else than things people do. And a group of people do things, which means that's culture. So we have to do things, and we do a lot of things that makes culture, but in a lot of companies only talking about strategy. Now, what about strategy? Maybe some people know this guy, Peter Drucker, and he had this really great quote, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." Think about it. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. You can have a really nice and the perfect strategy as a company, but people decide if it's going to work or not. If people don't do it because they don't like it or they don't feel it, they will not do it. They will just not do it. And it's the same with, we have a really nice strategy to implement this new technological developments, and people say, no, we don't know how to use it, we're not doing it. So people decide if a strategy is working or not. Peter Drucker. And that's where our culture of innovation matrix is coming by. It's from our own experience, and it's more like a theoretical thing on and culture of innovation, how we look to this and how to create one, because we see this a lot. Okay, what do we see? We have two lines. The first line is from committed to change and committed to the status quo. Do you do the things you have always done, or do you want to be a new one? Do you want to change? The other one is from the left to the right. Are you focused on your core activities as an organization, or are you focusing on people? Oh. Companies like them, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Apple, they are really innovation excellence. They're really good in adapting new things, making things true, be new. And that's because they are committed to change as an organization, new technologies, new structures, new ways of working, and they focus on their people. They learn people skills, things that they can adapt to their organization. This is what other companies do. They are really operational excellence, like governments or Nokia or Kodak. They were really innovative at one point, but then they started only focusing on their core activities and committed to their status quo. They didn't see that they have to change. Governments do this as well. A lot of protocols, a lot of processes, a lot of time before you finally can do something. And that's where they get stuck. And a lot of companies want to go from operational excellence to innovation excellence. That's the movement you see that companies want to do, to be more adaptive, to be more agile, to be more new, interesting for people. But the strategy they use is this, sometimes, patching up and mending, which means companies are focusing on their core activities, but want to change more. So what do you see in government, and I see it in a lot of places, they're trying to adapt new technologies, they're buying new startups, trying new structures. And what do you see? People in their organizations, they don't like it, they don't use it. The startup that's bought comes into a new company, start a thing, and then the culture sauces is coming over the startup. Well, they will see, okay, this is not the reason why I did this, and they go away, and the startup fails. You see this a lot. or a new technology, people don't use it or are not able to use it, and they will go. Another movement is this one, that organizations choosing for, okay, focusing on our people. Give them training, learn how to use design thinking, learn how to be more empathetic. What happens? The organization didn't change as well, which means people learn something that they are not able to apply. And there's nothing that frustrating as learning something that you cannot do. So people will go away and go to a place where you can do it at your way. So this is the movement you have to go. And when you're doing this, on the left bottom, in an operational excellence environment, people say to you what to do. Managers or people who have a lot of experience, they say, okay, you have to do this, and you're just doing it. You have a culture of following. But when you want to be more innovative, you know how to challenge the status quo with your own people. And then you have a culture of creation. People are creating things, creating new perspectives, trying to figure out what works and what not, and how to do that, and how to adapt new things. But it's really hard to do that. That's why we believe that a culture changing is an innovation by itself. It's not about products, it's not only about people, it's trying to combine them, and that's an innovation by itself. So in a culture of innovation, you know how to go from following to creation, from operational excellence to innovation excellence. And for that, you need the right mindset. And we really believe it. For example, when you want to change something in your organization, it's not about figuring out what's the newest technology or what do our people only want. No, it's trying to combine them. And to combine them, there's one thing that you need to do the most. And that's seeing people. Seeing people, talking to people, not talking about people. And we do this with organizations like the Dutch Ministry of Defense, and you see changes. Because it's not going just one way. It's about, all right, what are the opportunities we have? What do I have to change? More like on the structure, on the culture, on the processes, the protocols, and then we have to talk with our people. How is this for you? What's your perspective on this one? What do you like, what don't you like? Then you have new rebels, you have the product life cycle, new people will come by, will join, and you'll see a movement. All right, with more people we can check what are the new opportunities to change in our organization. Then you change a little bit. Figure out what skills are needed for our people, and can we train them? And can we apply them to a new product or a new system or a new something else that they come up with? All right, let's do it. What do people like right now? What's this population loves or not? And it's like small steps and all about changing people and challenging the status quo. And there are three things that are really important for this. And this is what we call entrepreneurial behavior. And this is the behavior we want to see in organizations to create a culture of innovation. And that's identify opportunities. So talk with people, because the perspective of other people are the inspiration for the opportunities. Translate them into value for others, not for yourself. We are really good to translate value for ourselves. Now it's about making something valuable for someone else. And then try to inspire and activate other people. When people really think, hey, this is going to be a solution for me, people will help. And it sounds really simple, it is really simple, but it's all a way of doing mindset. It's just doing. So this is where we started, perspective taking. For us, that's the main thing in organizations to change. And we help organizations like universities, governmental organizations like the Ministry of Defense or Economics to create a culture of innovation where people like to share, people like to understand each other, and trying to make movements from there. And this is what you want to know. All right. What did we talk about? I tried to explain that you need empathy to gain perspectives. You need empathy to gain perspectives. You have to say no to the status quo. And you have to challenge the status quo, try to commit to the change, and you have to focus on your people to do that. So, and this is really important and really simple as well. Go out and connect with your stakeholders, connect with your clients, connect with your colleagues, because there you will find solutions and there you will find real problems. This is what we really believe in from Studio.WHY. I'm really curious about your questions. There are a lot to talk about, but this was it for now. So thank you very much. Empathy and innovation culture. Thank you.